Hi, I'm doing the video this way because every time I try to do live video, it ends up being wonky as hell. So I made a video today in the Blue Butterfly room, but it had some explicit content in it. So I had to make another one for my actual public audience. Those of you who don't know about blue butterflies and Jujubama, you need to go check that out. Especially all of my wonderful, amazing, magical women who need a place to share, and sisterhood and truth and honesty and processing, and no shame and no blame and no victims and no villains and no cop-outs and no dropouts. And the purpose is growth and the result is love. Those are the tenets of progressive love. And I love Kenya and Carl, and I'm so happy that I found them. Because without them, and without their community, I probably would have killed some people by now. I most definitely would not have handled all of my emotional journeys over the last 5 years as gracefully as I have. So today's post video is about why do we have these strange and crazy expectations for the people that we're intimate with or potentially are going to be intimate with, and why do we cry when, excuse me, why do we cry when somebody won't come make us feel better? When they won't stop what they're doing and come take care of us and our needs and what we want, what they should be doing for us. So these are a couple of different understandings I've come into in the last few months. And I think I did a live video about it, but nobody listened to it. So maybe more people will listen to this one, who knows. So point number one, it's about these crazy expectations that we have for men or women that we become intimately involved with. Whether they're someone we're dating or just a casual relationship, someone we're potentially going to marry, whatever it is, at least for me, anybody that I've been intimate with, I have these crazy expectations for them. So let me give you an example. So this gentleman that I had been seeing in Arizona, I didn't know where he lived. I did know where he lived because it's easy to look that stuff up, but let's go with the story. And I was a data collector, and I was in the neighborhood around where his house was, and I texted him and I was like, you know, it's crazy. I'm down here in this part of town, and you know, it'd be sort of funny if I actually had to knock on your door as one of my addresses. And it's like, you know, it's sort of crazy that I don't know where you live after all this time. And I just started going on this rampage, like my ego mind just started like having all these crazy stories that were coming up with how this was so disrespectful, and how could I give myself to him, and all these things that I do, and I don't even know where he lives. And then Spirit says to me, Shanna, your mother doesn't know where you live, your dad doesn't know where you live, your children don't know where you live. He's probably one of the few people in the world who actually does know where you live. You don't, other than your mom, your dad, and your grandma, you don't know where your kids live. You don't know where your sisters live. You don't know where the majority of your Facebook friends live. Like, you have these super intimate relationships with all these people from all over the world. You have no idea where they live. So why are you telling this story about this man just because you've actually had intercourse with him? And so I had the same experience. So I met this really cool guy a couple weeks ago. And whatever reason, we have these things we want to create security and safety and certainty into the future. And so this is crazy. Okay, so I've always had this rule that if it was said in bed, it doesn't count. Because people will say anything when they're in bed together, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they intend to do, and that's what they plan to do. So with this person, I I forgot that rule. And so I was having all these conversations with him, and he was telling him all these things that I wanted, and that, you know, what my expectations for the relationship would be, and what kind of arrangement we would have, and this and that and the other. And he's going, yes, 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 yes. He's saying yes to everything. And of course, why wouldn't he? He was in bed. But it's like I had all these expectations for this stranger. But I called my dad for Father's Day. I still haven't heard back from him. I'm not freaking out. I'm not like blowing up a phone. I've not called my grandma, my brother, my stepmom, his cell phone. I haven't gone like crazy trying to find out where my dad is and why he didn't call me back for Father's Day. You know, I sent my daughter a message, leave her a voicemail, send her a text message. I don't hear back from her for 3 or 4 days. I'm cool. But this person I've now had intercourse with, I'm flipping out because he didn't respond to my text message that I sent to him. And he promised that he would not do that to me. And then, as I'm starting to get upset about this, I go, Shanna, damn you, you dummy, you big dummy. You forgot about your cardinal rule of relationships. You cannot ask important relationship questions in the course of having sex. This does not bode well for truthfulness. So I was like, oh my God, like I so have got to apologize to this person. I can't hold him responsible for anything he said yes to, because I had him in a compromised position, and that was so unfair. So I had to release him of all expectations and obligations because I broke my own cardinal rule. But it's weird. It's just so freaking weird that we have this idea that, oh, we got to do all these things to protect ourselves and make sure it's safe and make sure it's this and make sure it's that. That we do with these strangers, but we don't do with people that we've had relationships with for our whole entire lives. So I find that interesting. I really find that interesting part of my personality that I really am trying to just let go of. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, I don't want to be involved with anybody that I have to coerce into being in a relationship with me or make them do the things that I want to do. And, you know, like, it's okay for me to share what I would like to have, but, you know, it's up to them whether they show up and do that. So that was my message for earlier today. And then I'm going to cut this one off and make another video about my ideas about why we cry when people won't show up and make us feel good. Bye-bye.